At one point in American history, having a parent with the last name Vanderbilt was like getting a golden ticket to fame, fortune, and power. Indeed, for decades, the descendants of railroad magnate Cornelius Vanderbilt spent money like it was going out of style, including building the largest private home in America to this very day, the Biltmore Estate in North Carolina, and getting one of the country's most prestigious universities named after their family. However, the gilded aura that once shrouded the Vanderbilt name has gradually faded, revealing the burdens that come with such a storied legacy. By the 21st century, the dazzling excesses of the Vanderbilt past had given way to a more subdued presence, and despite having one of the most recognizable faces in news be a member of this legendary dynasty, most people on the streets of America would not know what became of the Vanderbilt legacy. In today's episode, we'll give you the deep dive and the secret history, taking you step by step through the past and the future of one of America's most iconic names as we describe what became of the final Vanderbilt heirs. Anderson Cooper seems to have cornered the market on both broadcasting and bank balances, with his 2024 endeavors stamping him as a titan of American journalism and a not-so-secret admirer of the finer things in life. With a reported $50 million net worth to his name, but pulling in a hefty $20 million from CNN annually, hinting at a much greater fortune, Anderson is not just riding the wave, he's making it. And when it comes to real estate, Anderson doesn't just own properties, he seems to collect them. From a grand $20 million mansion in Atlanta to a chic 5-bedroom New York City apartment snagged for $8 million, this man knows his bricks and mortar. Add to this a quirky former firehouse in the West Village and multiple retreats in Quogue, and it's clear the man has a knack for luxury digs. Not to forget, he zips around in a Gulfstream jet and sails a 50-foot yacht. Not exactly stuffy newsroom desk fare. Now, his professional notoriety remains undisputed as he helms CNN's Anderson Cooper 360 and the whole story with Anderson Cooper. And the man seems to dance between hard news and pop journalism with the ease of a seasoned samba dancer. Of course, what you're all really here for is the inheritance info. And it would seem Anderson's hand-me-down income is as robust as his broadcasting schedule. Beyond his salary, he inherited a nifty sum from his mother, the legendary heiress, Gloria Vanderbilt. While the gossip mills churn out wildly varying figures ranging from $1.5 million to a staggering $135 million, Anderson himself chuckles at these speculations, known as he is for pinching pennies and happily outfitting his offspring in hand-me-downs. But the story of this final Vanderbilt deepens with a poignant twist. Anderson is the younger sibling of Carter Vanderbilt Cooper, the other last heir to the Vanderbilt estate. Born into a world of wealth and privilege, the brothers grew up in the lap of luxury on Manhattan's Upper East Side, enjoying panoramic views that most can only dream of. Tragedy, however, has been a recurring theme in their lives, echoing the melancholic undertones of their mother's own early experiences, and it seems even a Vanderbilt must pay his dues to the fates. In the next chapter, we'll give the broader context of exactly what it would have been like to grow up as the final heirs in one of America's most legendary dynasties, before getting into the nitty-gritty of the modern Vanderbilt story of wealth and woe. Cornelius Vanderbilt, great-great-grandfather to media personality Anderson Cooper and his late brother Carter Cooper, epitomizes the quintessential American rags-to-riches story. Born to a modest family in New York City, Vanderbilt propelled himself from ferry operator to titan of the transportation industry, amassing wealth that established the Vanderbilt family as symbols of American affluence and power. And starting as a young man, Vanderbilt gained a reputation for his unyielding reliability and spirited courage while working on ferries. His ambitious nature soon led him into the steamboat industry, where he cleverly sidestepped monopolies and offered cutthroat prices that outmaneuvered his competitors. This strategy not only ballooned his operations, but by the late 1840s, his fleet swelled to over 100 steamboats, marking his venture as the largest business in the United States at that time. Not one to rest on his laurels, Vanderbilt shifted his focus to the burgeoning railroad industry. And through strategic acquisitions such as the New York and Harlem Railroad, Hudson River Railroad, and Central Railroad, he crafted an expansive transportation network that rivaled any in the nation. His relentless approach to business earned him the moniker the Commodore, and by his death in 1877, Vanderbilt had accumulated a fortune estimated at $95 million, equal to over $140 billion today, making him the wealthiest man in the country at his death, even outpacing the remaining Rockefellers. And the Vanderbilt legacy of grandeur persisted well beyond Cornelius's era. His children invested their inherited fortunes into constructing opulent mansions along New York City's Fifth Avenue, extravagant summer retreats in Newport, Rhode Island, and the majestic Biltmore House in Asheville, North Carolina, still the largest private home in America, even in 2024. Yet, beyond their architectural contributions, the family also embraced philanthropy. And Cornelius himself initiated this tradition by endowing $1 million to found Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. Therefore, it is from this lineage of prosperity and philanthropy that Anderson Cooper and his brother Carter descend. And yet, their own mother from her earliest days was embroiled in her own bit of Vanderbilt drama. You see, the struggles began following the death of Reginald Vanderbilt, Gloria Morgan's first husband, and father to young Gloria Vanderbilt, and his demise in 1925 triggered a notorious custody battle over their daughter and her substantial $5 million trust fund, equal to over $80 million in today's dollars. The dispute thus pitted Gloria Morgan Vanderbilt against her sister-in-law Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney, encapsulating the public's fascination with the Vanderbilt family's private lives. Dubbed the trial of the century, this high-profile legal saga unfolded during the depths of the Great Depression, casting a stark light on the lives of the ultra-wealthy. Accusations flew thick and fast in the courtroom, painting Gloria Morgan Vanderbilt as a socialite more devoted to her European jaunts than to her maternal duties. Gertrude Whitney, who had been acting as the young Gloria's guardian at her lavish New York estate, ultimately won custody, relegating Gloria Morgan to mere visitation rights. But the trial left an unforgettable mark on how Gloria Vanderbilt perceived her own mother. As a beautiful stranger, she only saw occasionally. Despite these rocky beginnings, Gloria Vanderbilt carved out her own notable path, turning her talents to the worlds of art, fashion, and literature. Her foray into the fashion industry, particularly her pioneering line of designer jeans in the 1970s, catapulted her to new heights of commercial success. And in 1980, at the height of her brand's popularity, she pocketed an impressive $10 million from royalties alone, an amount equivalent to more than $30 million today. But the romance between Gloria Vanderbilt and Wyatt Emery Cooper, Anderson and Cooper's father, is also a key aspect of the journey to understanding the final Vanderbilt heirs. Gloria and Wyatt first crossed paths at a New York City dinner party in the early 1960s, where Gloria was immediately taken with Wyatt's striking blue eyes, and she described their first meeting as a shock of recognition, a moment that sparked an immediate connection. You see, at this juncture, Gloria was a famed socialite and fashion innovator, while Wyatt had carved out his niche as a gifted writer and actor with roots in the Deep South. Despite their disparate backgrounds, Gloria from the opulent Vanderbilt dynasty and Wyatt from a humble Mississippi upbringing, they discovered mutual interests and values that drew them together. As their relationship blossomed, Gloria found herself enchanted by Wyatt's integrity and deeply ingrained values. His large, affectionate family offered her a window into a nurturing family environment she had never experienced, due to her own chaotic upbringing. And this insight was instrumental in her decision that Wyatt was the ideal partner with whom to build a family. Wyatt, in turn, was captivated by Gloria. He saw past her public persona to her artistic prowess and her longing for an authentic family life. Furthermore, their romance was enriched by their joint involvement in New York's vibrant art scene, weaving their personal and professional lives into a shared tapestry. The couple's commitment culminated in marriage on Christmas Eve, 1963, and for Gloria, who had already experienced 3 previous marriages, Wyatt was the definitive love of her life. This marriage heralded a new chapter, providing the stability and family life she had earnestly sought. Gloria and Wyatt swiftly became staples of New York's elite social scene, regularly gracing national best-dressed lists. Yet, their relationship was built on more than just appearances. Wyatt's emotional support and empathy offered Gloria something she had found lacking in earlier relationships, and together they would cultivate the family life Gloria had envisioned. Soon, they would raise Gloria's 2 sons from her previous marriage to Leopold Stokowski and welcome 2 more children, Carter and Anderson Cooper. From their earliest days, the Cooper brothers were steeped in luxury. Icons like Diane Arbus were behind the camera capturing their infant giggles, and Anderson even snagged a gig on The Tonight Show at the tender age of 3. Luxury homes, flights on private jets, and rubbing elbows with the elite were regular fixtures in their childhood tapestry. Yet, this gilded life came with its own set of hurdles. Tragedy first struck when Anderson was 10. His father, Wyatt, succumbed to heart disease, leaving a lasting mark on the family. And both brothers were academic stars. Anderson polished off his prep education at Manhattan's Dalton School, dashing through the curriculum to graduate at 17. He then sprinted to Yale, dove into political science, and even steered the lightweight rowing team as coxswain, bagging his degree in 1989. Carter, on the other hand, was enchanted by military history and politics from a young age. Described by Anderson as more sensitive and less cut out for the social fray, Carter's interests were profound, yet his demeanor gentle. Thus, the bond between the brothers was intricate, laced with the usual sibling dynamics, yet defined by a shared experience of public scrutiny and personal trials. For example, Anderson held Carter's book Families in high regard, viewing it as a roadmap their father might have endorsed for their lives. After his graduation from Princeton in 1987, Carter delved into the world of historical literature, contributing reviews and edits to American Heritage magazine. Personal struggles, however, shadowed Carter. He battled severe allergies and harbored a peculiar fear of anesthetics, speaking to his desire to live fully and consciously. Tragically, a new asthma inhaler prescribed months before his untimely death was later thought by their mother, Gloria Vanderbilt, to have triggered a fatal psychotic episode. On the 22nd July 1988, at the age of 23, Carter ended his time on Earth by jumping from the terrace of his family's 14th-story apartment in New York City with his mother as a helpless spectator. Her pleas for him to step back from the precipice went unheeded, leaving a scar that would persist through the decades. And the void left by Carter's demise wove a new fabric of unity between Anderson and Gloria. Amidst the profound grief, Anderson became a pillar of support, offering solace and strength to his mother. Gloria, haunted yet resilient, found ways to keep her son's memory vibrant, engaging in conversations that breathed life into his past presence, and her literary tribute to Carter, A Mother's Story, captures the excruciating pain of that loss and its everlasting imprint on her life. Through these trials, the threads of familial love and collective memory stitch together a tapestry of shared resilience and mutual support, highlighting a journey through loss and the continuous search for solace and understanding in its aftermath. In the wake of personal catastrophe, Anderson Cooper and his mother, Gloria Vanderbilt, leaned heavily on one another, and the ripple effects of Carter's untimely departure profoundly shaped Anderson's professional path and personal ethos. He openly credits his brother's death as a pivotal force driving him toward journalism, a field where he frequently tackles themes of loss, resilience, and the human spirit's indomitable capacity to recover. While covering global adversities, Anderson found a way to process his own heartaches, though the sorrow of his brother's absence remains a constant companion. And the death of Gloria Vanderbilt at 95, due to stomach cancer, marked another chapter of loss in Cooper's life. Thus, despite his accomplishments and professional standing, Anderson Cooper has always been candid about his personal struggles with grief. This openness led him to launch All There Is in 2022, a podcast exploring the multifaceted nature of grief and its profound impact on those it afflicts. The podcast has resonated deeply, creating a community for individuals navigating similar pathways of loss, offering both solace and shared understanding. In more personal realms, joy has blossomed for Cooper in recent years, particularly in his role as a father to his two sons, Wyatt and Sebastian, whom he shares with his former partner, Benjamin Messani. Embracing fatherhood, Cooper is dedicated to nurturing his children's interests and bolstering their pursuits, a commitment he attributes to the values instilled in him during his upbringing. And although Anderson Cooper initially distanced himself from the Vanderbilt name, wary of being overshadowed by the monumental family legacy, as he embraced fatherhood, his perspective shifted dramatically. This change sparked a deep dive into the complexities of his ancestry, culminating in his authorship of the best-selling book, Vanderbilt, The Rise and Fall of an American Dynasty. With that said, it's important to note that there are indeed two additional Vanderbilt heirs, Leopold Stanislaus Stan Stokowski and Christopher Stokowski, sons of Gloria Vanderbilt from her first marriage. Both of these men, however, have seemingly taken steps to distance themselves from the Vanderbilt brand, and it appears their children will likely grow up detached from the Vanderbilt identity and wealth. Leopold Stanislaus, born in 1950, has forged a substantial career in landscaping and is married to Emily Goldstein. They have two daughters, and although Stan maintained a close relationship with his mother, Gloria Vanderbilt, he and his family have taken great steps to stay almost completely out of the public eye. On the other hand, Christopher Stokowski, born in 1952, has taken a markedly different path. A classical musician by profession who was previously engaged to one April Sandmeyer, he remained single and was estranged from his family for many years before eventually reconciling. Despite this reconciliation, Christopher inherited nothing from the Vanderbilt wealth, speaking to his prolonged detachment from the family. The divergent paths of the Stokowski and Cooper brothers illustrate vividly how the Vanderbilt legacy can sculpt individual fates in dramatically different manners. Each brother's life story reveals the range of ways family members can navigate the weighty expectations and pressures associated with such a renowned lineage, demonstrating the delicate dance between personal identity and familial legacy. And now, we'd love to see you in the comments. Which family's final heirs would you like us to feature next on this channel? Perhaps this could be a new series we do here at Old Money Luxury, where we feature the last descendants of a given family. Let us know below, and thanks again for joining us for another episode. Cheers, until next time.